Have you ever been in the middle of an interaction with women and thought to yourself, God, how do I move this forward? Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, former marriage and family therapist and Playboy radio show host turned dating coach for men. And while the last video talked about the simple shift that sparks sexual desire, today I'm going to talk to you about how we can turn simple small talk into something sexually charged. And to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to be your perverted ass self with women in a way we want, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell. Okay, so if you are a victim of your own small talk with women, I'm telling you right now, we can turn that into sexual tension, regardless of how boring and mundane you might think it is. While I'm not a fan of small talk at all, and I would never tell you to go out there and say some shit like, Goog, how's the weather today? Or even, Miss, so what do you like to do for fun? Because it is gonna be a little difficult, but we're gonna maneuver a little bit if this is your modus operandus. So stick with me for a second. Now, the reason small talk doesn't work, let's use the examples I just gave you in regards to, how's the weather where you are? Get the fuck out of here, you don't care. Or even, what do you like to do for fun? If you think about it, these two examples in these two scenarios deal with things. They don't deal with feelings, they don't deal with experiences, they don't deal with anything personal about me or you, right? Even me saying, I really like to karaoke. I'm willing to bet you can name at least one other person in this life, in this world that likes karaoke. So essentially, you're not learning anything about me or even the weather. You're asking me to tell you what the fucking weather's like? That means nothing about me. Nothing. So because these things are so far removed from us, it's gonna make it difficult for you to bring up sex, which involves us. However, I'm gonna give you one little flip that's gonna get her going, wait, what? Which will be enough for us to feel that sexual tension. So again, while I don't condone going out there and talking about shit you don't give a shit about, and you know she doesn't give a shit about it either, I'm gonna help you redirect it back so that you can say some shit we give a shit about, so that we can do some shit up in the pound town. Okay, so if you catch yourself saying some dumb shit about the weather, God, don't do it. The fastest way to bring it to me and you to then pivot to something sexual is to just personalize it. Personalize it about the two of you. So for example, you made the honest mistake of asking her what she likes to do for fun. She's like, I like to pickleball. I don't know what else you want from me. You can personalize it, be like, pickleball, I've actually never tried that. Okay, now we've personalized it, right? If you want to create sexual tension, we have to plant the seed of physical touch in there after it's personalized. Now, it might feel a little creepy and it might feel a little forced, but if you say some shit like, I've never heard of it, I bet you'd spank my ass in that, I'd be like, what did you say? What? Again, this is not about creeping her out. It is about creating that physicality, right? Because if you plant any type of seed about us, we women are going to start to think about us. And if you plant that seed of us being physical, we're gonna be like, we're gonna stand at attention. It might get weird, but it's better than you being boring. Am I right? Do you want her to be bored with you, or do you want her to wonder, what did he really mean by that? Again, if you're good with innuendos, that works. Or if you don't want to get too physical, you can insinuate being a couple. So you ask her some dumb shit yet again, what do you like to do for fun? And she's like, I like to hang out with my friends. And you can say some shit like, I think girls need a girls' night. I would hope you do it if we ever get married. Again, she's gonna be like, what? But that is the goal, right? If you want to go to small talk and create weird sexual tension, because I'm telling you right now, sexual tension is supposed to feel weird, but it's gonna feel weird because we're not used to feeling sexual tension in our everyday lives. And too many of you confuse sexual tension with awkward silence or awkward tension. But if you can sit with it for a second and let her water that weird ass seed herself, I'm telling you, it'll go places. I've had dudes say some shit where I'm just like, and then I've gone home and I've been like, do I want to fuck this guy? And I'm telling you, all of my girlfriends have stories like this. Like, was he flirting with me? If you're making us think about you while you're gone because you said something that is so off kilter and it's standing out in our heads, that is us watering that seed while you're gone. And if you get us thinking about you when you're gone, by process of cognitive dissonance, what you're doing is you're inadvertently having our brains convince us that, okay, I'm thinking about him and he's not here. I must want him here. He's on my mind, he's not here. It must be because I like him or he's made an impact on me. Something happens when you get us to think about you when you're not around that starts to brew that shit inside us, if you know what I mean. So again, while it isn't the most graceful moving of forward, it is an abrupt, okay. It takes you out of that, this is a regular ass nobody. It takes you out of, this is the friend zone, safe guy, and it puts you in a category that forces her to see you as set apart from other men. So again, going back, you gotta personalize it, add something about yourself in there, add something about her, and then make it physical. So let's go with the weather. A lot of y'all ask about the fucking weather, which I don't understand, or you comment on the weather. Really nice weather we're having out here today. Yeah, no, I'm really appreciating how warm it is. Then you can say some shit like, I don't know about you, but it sounds like the next time we step outside, we're gonna have to shed a layer or two. I'll be like, what did he just say? Did he really just fucking say that shit? Did he really talk about us getting naked? Am I gonna get naked with this guy? Again, this is only for the bold, but being bold sets you apart from everywhere else. And if you know you don't want to get her weirded out, and you know the women you're trying to turn small talk into sexy talk with, work with you, and we don't want to catch a charge, check out my Speak to Spark Arousal system, which shows you how to avoid making small talk that goes nowhere or forces you to say some weird shit you're not that comfortable saying. Speak to Spark Arousal is about creating chemistry from connections and comfort, okay? By being yourself, without you having to say some shit you don't want to say or memorize lines. If you sat here and you wrote out exactly what I said word for word, you're fucking yourself, because it needs to be personal to you in that very moment. And Speak to Spark Arousal helps you personalize things in a way that gets women feeling like we gotta wanna have you before you ever say anything sexual or romantic. So speaktosparkarousal.com. Talk about getting physical with one another. And thank you for watching as always. I will see you next time.